So we'll give just a moment for that to sync up and then we'll get started here. Welcome, welcome. It's Monday, y'all. Magical Monday, August 26th, last Monday of August. And do that. This is Magical Monday Manifestations. Hi, I'm your host, Valerie Lewis, psychic medium, tarot and oracle card reader. And that is exactly what we will be doing today, is getting some guidance from the tarot first and then switching over and allowing some guidance from oracle cards. And as always, Spirit will weave its messages in between the cracks. So when any messages or guidance comes through from Spirit, I will make sure to add that into the mix as well. We call it Magical Monday Manifestations because we take this information and learn how to apply it in our lives so that we can truly be co-creators with the universe, not just observers, not just participants, but feel like we actually have a say in the direction of our lives, so that we can feel as if we are walking and working in purpose, on purpose, feeling like we know what the hell we're doing. How about that? So that is why I like to do these readings, is to give a little guidance, a chance for the collective to tap in, get messages, receive messages from Spirit. So let's do this. And I invite you to go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths and settle in, center yourself. And when I say center or ground yourself, I'm just saying, in the simplest of terms, make sure you're fully present. Allow yourself to be here, focus on the messages coming through from Spirit. If you have questions, Spirit already knows what they are. But if you want to be more intentional about your questions, go ahead and gently send them up to the universe, out to me, so that I can pick up on those vibes. That we are delivering messages that will most benefit you and the collective. So the tarot deck that I am going to use today, I had to question Spirit on this one, is the Wild Unknown by Kim Krans. The Wild Unknown by Kim Krans. Her tarot deck, not her oracle cards, which are also, I've heard, pretty phenomenal. And the reason why I question, because I don't work with this deck a lot, and because there's not, some of the cards have really cool imagery, but then some of the cards are just two wands. And so I really like visual imagery, because I feel like a lot more messages come through when I read for a group. So I was like, are you sure, Spirit? Are you sure that's the deck we want to go with? And what I heard is it's less about the deck. Well, it is going to be some about the deck, but also the guidebook. So I guess there's some interpretations in the guidebook that Spirit's going to direct me to, that are going to have some really good messages for the collective this morning. I do want to read, I do like this. So first of all, Kim Krans, as an artist, I have her journal. I fucking love her journal. That's all I'm going to say about it. Go check it out. It's a journal. It's the same thing. It's the journal that accompanies the decks that she's done. But right in the cover of her box, where, oh, look, there's the infinity symbol. Look, infinity symbol. I love infinity symbol. But right on the cover, it says, "May you always be on the inner quest." I like that. We're getting off to a good start with this deck. Let me just move the book to the side. I'm sure I will be referring to it as I make room for the cards. All right. Let's see what guidance Spirit has for this week ahead. Guidance, insight, maybe just confirmation, affirmation, Spirit. What you got for us? What you got? What you got? All right, I've got the 5 cards drawn. It's got a little wording all over. I went to put the cards back in the box, the ones I'm not using. She's got little messages all over. A totally different message inside the box. I'm not going to read that right now. let's get into the actual cards for this morning, this week. And the first card, interesting. So when I was drawing the first two cards, I drew them and then I got the guidance to flip them around. I think we'll see why once I get into the reading. But the first card is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups. Two things that I'm noticing here. Obviously, the broken cups, due to the contrast, that's where the artist wants our eyes to go, the broken cups, but also the mountains. And that is a big ass mountain. It's not a little bitty old hill in the distance. That's a big ass mountain. Mountains in our lives, in imagery and symbology, and especially in the tarot, mountains represent challenges. And I always say challenges and opportunities. I don't like to just throw challenges out there. Challenges and opportunity. In every challenge that we face in life, there's always a bigger and better opportunity if we go looking for it. So the fact that that one is so big, though, that mountain is so big, and that these broken glasses down here, the Eight of Cups signifies a time to walk away, a time to leave whatever is not working behind you. And I feel like the message here is twofold because of that huge mountain. It's saying some of us, some of you, some of all of us are experiencing some type of challenge that at this time is looming a little bit bigger than we would like. And the advice is it's time to walk away. This challenge is feeling bigger than it actually needs to feel because you are refusing to leave something behind, refusing to let go, refusing to release. The Eight of Cups also in Tarot is the idea that you are leaving something behind, even if that something feels unfinished. So we as humans, especially if you have an inclination towards perfectionism, or you've got ingrained in you that you eat every piece of food on your plate, you better not leave until there's a happy plate. I used to hear that as a child. The idea that whatever you start, you need to finish. A lot of us have trouble walking away when something is unfinished, even if we know intuitively that is exactly what needs to happen. So when we are faced with a challenge and our first instinct is, oh, I need to walk away from this situation. And then logic starts talking to us, or some preconcept, false belief from our past starts talking to us and says, you can't walk away. You can't walk away. You didn't finish that project. You didn't have that conversation. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. You can't walk away yet, even though that first intuitive hit was, it's time for me to get the fuck out of here. And then we start listening to other voices that tell us, no, 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 stay just a little bit longer. When we stay just a little bit longer, that mountain that was probably down here tends to grow. Things tend to get out of proportion because we're holding on, we're refusing to move forward when that is the best course. Eight of Cups is the idea of walking away, but it's also the idea of sometimes unfinished business, you still need to walk away. And I see that, here's how I determine, am I using spiritual bypassing to just not do something I just don't want to do? Am I failing to walk in integrity and not upholding obligations or responsibilities that I've said I was going to do? Or is it really time for me to walk away even when there's unfinished business? Here's how I check in to figure out which one it is. So I always check in with my energy. Is there an energetic imbalance in this situation? Or is this just something my mind is telling me because there's something I don't want to do? There's some challenge I don't want to embark on. So what that feels like is maybe I said I was going to, first of the year, everybody's excited. This is not a true situation, but this is what's popping into my mind. Everybody's excited about going back to school, and you're excited about being the best parent. What do they even call them? Classroom parents. And you volunteer for the next 3 months to be the carpool mom that picks up everybody's kids and takes them to school. And it's like, yeah, I can do that. 3 days into it, you're like, I don't want these little hellions tearing up my car every morning. And you decide that that's not what you want to do. And this Eight of Cups is, well, I told them all the parents are counting on me. The school is counting on me to safely transport these children for the next 3 months. Parents have probably switched and rearranged their babysitting schedules because now they don't have to worry about it. I said I was going to do this. When is it time for me to walk away? When am I letting down someone else in order to honor myself versus letting down someone else just because I don't feel like doing what I said I was going to do? That's when you need to do a vibe check. That's when you need to do a frequency check and ask yourself, the energy in which I committed to this thing, can I recapture that energy? Is it just a matter of me not paying enough attention to my energy? And what I need to do is get my energy back to the point to where I feel in alignment with that. Is that what's going on? Or the energy in which I made this agreement, this responsibility, this connection, is that really not my energy? Maybe I don't know what I was doing, but that's not really my set point. That's not really where I feel comfortable operating. If that's the case, then it's time for you to walk away because you said yes in a different energy set point. And usually the energy in which we said yes, when it turns out to be an energetic mismatch and we know it's truly time for us to walk away and Spirit is truly leading us to that decision, usually the energy in which we said yes to was a misaligned energy. That's how you know. Was I misaligned when I said yes to this obligation? Was I saying yes because I was people pleasing and I wanted all the parents to like me? Or was I saying yes because I was speaking from a place in my heart and I wanted to offer this and it didn't matter what other people thought? Usually the decision, how the vibration and the frequency in which you made the original decision, if it was out of alignment, then it's going to be time for you to walk away, whether it's finished or not. If it was in alignment, then it's time for you to do the work and make sure you get back into alignment so that that agreement feels like a match to you again. So let's see what the book says about Eight of Cups. Boop, boop, boop. Where are my cups? This is an interesting book. The Eight of Cups sends an urgent message to pack your bags and move on. There is no hope of rekindling what's been lost. You must start anew. This card also points to phases of illness and physical stagnation. The message could not be more clear. Nothing good remains for you here. Lift your eyes to the horizon and lift your feet and let your feet lead you forward. So that's from the book, Eight of Cups. All right, next up, if we heed that message here at the beginning of the week, I feel it doesn't really feel like struggle. I wouldn't call it struggle. Challenge would be close. There's another word the Spirit is trying to bring to my mind. There's a lot, tension, that's the word. There's a lot of tension that I'm feeling collectively. It doesn't quite feel like struggle, but it just feels like that feeling. So if you've been experiencing that lately, check in with yourself and ask yourself, is this my tension or am I just picking up on the tension of the collective? Because I can definitely pick up on it. And I hope I'm self-aware enough that I can tell that some of the tension is indeed mine, but the majority of the tension seems to be collective. So what I'm saying is, I get you. I feel it. I can understand the presence of this tension collectively and also in our lives. And these messages are the first message about walk away. That's why we got that first big message as the first card of our reading today, is because that's going to help you relieve some of the tension. So ask yourself, what do I need to walk away from? Maybe it is finished business, or maybe it's not finished business, but in any case, it's misaligned energy that you need to walk away from. And when you do that, the next card is the World. So Spirit is coming right in to say, I'm not asking you to do anything that is going to move you away from your goals, your dreams, what you want for yourself, your intentions, your manifestations. Here I am telling you the world is yours. Everything is in a cycle. And right now you're just a part of the cycle. In the traditional tarot card, a life-giving character is on top of the wheel, and death itself is on the bottom of its wheel, making its way back up to the top. And the idea is it's also the representative of the circle of life. From the message of the first card, time to walk away, we're somewhere down here. Something needs to die. Something needs to be removed from our life in this cycle. Maybe that's why you're feeling low energy. Maybe that's why you're feeling tension or stress or anxiety. Something needs to move away so that we can continue on our cycle. It's never ending, but we're in the phase of letting go and releasing so that we can get back into the phase of creation, of understanding that the world literally is ours, that infinity and abundance is all ours to claim. It's like going to the store with your bags. You know how, I don't know about y'all, Kansas is getting there, but every time I visit Colorado, Colorado don't even have bags in the store no more. You had to bring, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it's good for the environment, but whatever. You had to bring your, it seems like more work. You had to bring your own bags to the store, your own reusable bags, or I guess if you buy plastic bags on Amazon, you got to bring your own bags to the store. So imagine going grocery shopping and you walk in with all of your reusable bags and they're already all full of groceries. What are you going to do? How are you going to shop? What are you going to carry it with? That's what Spirit is saying to you right now. I hear you asking. Now it's time for you to make room in your life for the things that you are asking for. What are you going to let go of so that you have room for these new things? Spirit is like, I need just one empty bag. If you want to keep lugging all of those bags around with you from store to store, okay, it's going to break your back, but okay, but just give me one empty bag. Just give me one empty bag. Just give me half an empty bag. Spirit is like bargaining with you at this point. Let me show you how good it can get if you make room and space in your life for me to bless you, for me to come in with divine inspiration, with creativity, with abundance. You got to make the room. Stop showing up with your hands full, asking, what am I supposed to do with all this crap in my life? You're supposed to let it go so I can bless you with the things that you've been asking for. That's what Spirit's saying. So the world was our second card. Major arcana, all areas of our life. Third card, another major arcana, all areas of our life. And it's the Chariot. I really like this depiction of the Chariot, and I am going to go to the book because I'm feeling led to go to the book for this card in particular. But my mind immediately said, that should be a unicorn. Look at the little crescent moon on the horsey's head. That should be a unicorn. A pinnacle around its neck. Now that's interesting because pinnacles are about manifestations. Chariots are usually about fast action, fast moving. Interesting. We're definitely going to go to the book on this one. I still think it should be a unicorn. Somebody tell Kim Krantz to recolor this deck and make that one a unicorn. All right, let's see. The Chariots. You know what? I'm going to go back because as I flipped, the book landed on the wheel. So I'm going to read the definition for the wheel, and then we'll move forward and read the definition for the Chariot. The world is the final card in the, I'm sorry, I called it the wheel. It's the world. The world. The world is yours. The world is the final card in the journey of the major arcana. It signifies completion, harmony, and contentment. It's rare to experience this energy as we are usually consumed by wanting, needing, and achieving. That sounds like what I was just saying. We're usually so busy carrying those bags that we can't allow the contentment to come in. So when this card appears, contemplate for a moment the idea of being whole. Whole. Focus on the image on the card. Close your eyes and envision this radiant energy inside you. What does it feel like? Where is it located? What blocks you from feeling a sense of wholeness each and every day of your life? I don't know about y'all, but when I do body scans, I've begun to further interpret it, like just being able to sit with yourself and do a body scan and ask yourself what parts of my body are holding tension. That took some learning. That's a skill for sure. So if you're not able to do that, please practice it, because what comes on the other side, when I was able to identify where the tension is, then I've been able to go a little bit deeper with that and understand, what does it mean when I notice there's tension in my shoulders. For me personally, it usually means I'm bearing the burden. I'm bearing someone else's burden. I'm carrying too many responsibilities. I'm letting stress and things weigh me down. It's the idea of having the whole world on your shoulders. So those body scans, I totally forgot where I was going with this. With the world, asking yourself, when you envision this energy of abundance, of wholeness, of completeness, and you ask yourself, where can I feel that inside my body? That's going to be very informative to you. Also pay attention if you feel energy within yourself around certain chakra systems, the main seven, if you know of more around those, but because that's going to be very important too. So when I asked myself that question, just a real quick check-in, where do I feel that energy in myself? It was right in my solar plexus, which is interesting because I usually, my solar plexus is usually pretty balanced. So it's interesting that I feel that sense of wholeness in my solar plexus. So maybe do some inner work, some reflection that might assist and aid you. All right, moving on to reading the Chariot. The Chariot, strong will and triumph are the keywords. Card number 8. 8 is the number of abundance. 8 is the month we are in. There's so much good 8 energy coming at us this month. The Chariot is your confidence, your will, and your inner warrior. At points in your life when you felt the bliss of achievement or triumph, you were riding on his back. Build a relationship with this part of yourself. Try to see the Chariot inside you. The more focused your mind, the easier it will be to sense his presence and stay mounted on his back with a fixed gaze and sure footing. You'll be headed towards all you dream of. Oh, I really like these messages, all about moving us forward. How can we stay the course? How can we stay focused? How can you stay on this horse or unicorn's back when it is moving rapidly forward? How are you going to find your balance so that you can stay in flow and move with the universe instead of against it? Another major arcana. So I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say this week we're really focusing on a holistic approach, all areas of our life, not just the one thing that seems to be prickly for us, but all areas of our life, because we have 3 major arcana and just 2 minor arcana. The Fool card. I like the Fool card because the Fool card for me embodies fresh start, feels like a breath of fresh air, but it feels like what I used to feel like when I was a young little spring chick. It feels like I can do anything. It feels like I don't have the burdens of society telling me what I can and can't do. It feels like youthful innocence, and innocence in a way that is empowering. I love getting the Fool card. Here we have the Fool card represented by what I believe is a young chick. I don't know, it's up in a tree, so maybe it's just a young winged animal. But let's go to the book again and see. Keywords are spontaneity and innocence. The Fool is ready to fly. His young wings ache for flight. With a single step, he leaves behind the comfort of the nest to begin the journey through the major arcana. Is he ready? Will he fall? This is a card about beginnings. It points to the side of you that is spontaneous, excited, naive, and inexperienced. Others may doubt your abilities. Be ready to be called the Fool. Be ready to fall. No matter what people say about you, this is your journey, and it's already begun. So what if you fall? Get back up again. So what if you don't know how to fly the first time you jump out of the nest and you hit the ground? You're going to fly eventually. Why? Because the Creator, God, the divine, gave you wings, and you know innately how to use them. And you're not going to use them if you never try to take flight. You're not going to use them in the tree. You're not going to use them on the ground. You're only going to use them, what? How? Through experience. Get out there and experience life. Be the Fool. Be excited about your journey. Be excited about exploration. See where life takes you. And then the last card, Cups again. The 4 of Cups. I don't even want to touch this card. I have a huge phobia of rodents. And this card has a very large rodent, bigger than all 4 of the cups, but the crescent moon there again. Y'all see how I'm holding the card over by the corner? That's how much I when I say phobia, I mean pictures, anything. I know this little rodent can't hurt me, but I don't like it. 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is the meh card. It's the I'm not seeing my blessings card. It's the spirit is trying to bless me, but I'm looking the other way, usually looking towards the past, or usually looking towards lack, which is inviting more lack into my life. I'm sitting there bitching and moaning about how boring my life is instead of getting up and looking for excitement or creating excitement. That's the Four of Cups. Four of Cups. An outsider will look upon your life and see supportive relationships, pleasures, and even a bit of luxury. But you don't see it that way. Instead, there's discontentment, apathy, and even greed for more. The Four of Cups warns not to take your situation for granted or the people who supported you along the way. Look around you. What are you truly longing for? Name it. So it's another manifestation trick. It's Magical Monday Manifestations. It's another manifestation trick that goes directly against our human taught. I'm saying that because it's not innate. It was definitely taught. Our human taught tendencies. When we don't have something, we have the first inclination to complain about what's not there. As humans, that's just what we do for whatever reason. Spirit is saying, I want you to acknowledge what's not there, but then I want you to stop your bitching and I want you to ask yourself, how can I call in what I do want? Are you going to continue to look at the empty glass of wine and bitch about how you forgot to go to the store to get another bottle of wine and now you're out of wine and you already drank one glass of wine, so you can't drive and get another bottle of wine, and now you're just going to whine about the wine? Or are you going to allow yourself to be empowered in this moment and say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to make a list, and tomorrow, instead of just going to my regular stop, I'm going to go to that shop, 30 minutes out of my way where they have the biggest selection of wine. I'm going to put a little bit of extra money. And now you're looking towards the future. Now you're creating space to allow yourself to create more of what you want. Yeah. Okay, cool. You ain't got it in this current moment. You want it in this current moment. Okay. You bitch and you moan about it and you're in Four of Cups energy. You decide what you're going to do about it. You make a plan to bring more of what you want into your life. That's where Spirit's trying to move. Now you're in manifestation energy. So I don't even drink wine like that, y'all. I don't know why wine came into my, maybe because I'm thinking about whining. Anyway, that's our tarot. I already put the cards away. Usually I leave the cards out in case we need to refer back to them, but I'm going to trust that Jacqueline took care of me over in the chat. And I'll know which card I drew if I need to. Okay, so that was the tarot. Now we're going to move to some oracle cards. That was the wild unknown. What's going on with y'all? I want to hear from you over in the chat. How was your week? How was your weekend last week? Your weekend? Do you find these Monday readings insightful? Do you just tune in to hang out, or do you actually find that these bits of advice are playing out in your life in a real way? What challenges are you currently facing? Can I help you find those opportunities in any way? Over this past weekend, I'll tell you a little bit about my weekend as I shuffle these cards. It's a new deck, so it's taking me a little bit longer to shuffle them. I instructed a 3-day mini course called Queen Energy, and I had some amazing queens in that course, and it was so fulfilling. The feedback from the people in the course was that it was amazing, but it was personally fulfilling. I didn't realize how much I've taught it before. I switched up the format so it would be 3 days instead of like a 6-week kind of thing. And I didn't realize how fulfilling and exciting it was going to be for myself personally. So I really enjoyed myself this past weekend. I enjoyed myself so much that I'm thinking, how can I carry that energy forward? I'm thinking maybe I'll write a book, a Queen Energy book. I don't know. Maybe I'll put out some card spreads, and I don't know. I've got a lot of creative ideas about how I can further that energy. So I thank those of you that were present in that course this weekend. And now the Oracle deck. So that was my weekend. Go ahead and tell me over in chat what's going on with your weekend. What did y'all do? What did y'all do? What do you need help with? What are you trying to clarify in your life? The Oracle deck that I'm going to now is Wisdom of the Shadow. I received this as a gift from the amazing Creative Nectar membership that I am a part of. And the Creative Nectar, for those of you that don't know, is run by one of my very dear friends, Stephanie Gray, and her business partner, Jenny Hahn. We all live in the same city, and I still have yet to meet Jenny in person. I've met her online several times, and I know of her. But anyway, this deck is, Jenny did the artwork for this deck. And because I'm a member in the community, one of their giveaways was this deck. So I'm excited to use that. Wisdom of the Shadow is the name of the Oracle deck again. Self-care. Self-care. Look at that fire burning. Fire burning within inside. Self-care. I know I'm going to read the book because it's the Oracle deck, but when I see that fire right there, that kind of, I don't know for what reason, but it reminds me like of a Kundalini awakening. I wasn't even familiar with that term until I moved past all of that spiritual awakening stuff in my life. So I'm not really familiar with Kundalini awakening other than I've heard the phrase and I understand it's what I called my personal spiritual awakening, but that feels like it, that fire inside that just lights everything on fire. One minute you feel like you're completely alive and completely awake for the first time in a long time. And the next minute you're like, what the hell am I doing? My life is on fire. So that's what that picture reminded me of. But the title is self-care. So let's see what self-care is about. And pardon me if I've used the phrase Kundalini awakening in the wrong way. That's just how I understand it. Soul care. Soul care. I thought it said self-care. Soul care. I can't read. Soul care. The quote, I guess it would be an affirmation. I value and nurture my innermost layers. I take time to care for my soul. There's an italicized portion at the beginning of the, what would you call it, text. And it says countless layers. Oh, I think it's like a description of the artwork. Countless layers rippling inward and outward, ever swirling, ever spiraling. Creation unfolding itself, lit from the eternal internal flame, rising up from our passionate roots, life force informing the body, portal of truth at the heart center. I love those words. We are far greater than our bodies, minds, and identities. We are beings more infinite than we know or can fathom. There are countless layers we cannot see or identify, yet we are interconnected to it all. How intertwined do we allow ourselves to be with the infinite aspects of who we are? Do we walk in disconnect with our soul self, or is our soul our core wisdom keeper and informant of our day-to-day lives? Our soul needs care, intentionality, and awareness. If we create time to tune into our soul awareness and allow our soul self to speak to us, we can walk our lives with a deeper sense of wholeness, interconnectedness, and ease. Ease. We must remember to care for ourselves at our innermost core layers and notice what experiences, interactions, and acts bring a deep soul fulfillment and nurturance to the core of our beings. Consider what lights the inner flame, the most primal core layers of who you are. What makes you feel in connection with your innermost creative passions? What creates a deep opening in your heart center? What is your soul longing for? What care and tending is your soul self asking of you? Reminds me of the question that we had from the tarot card earlier, asking us to take that self-assessment. All right, there are rituals included with this, with each one of these oracle cards, which I love me a good oracle deck that gives me practical steps on how to take the message and apply it to my life. So I love decks with rituals. I'm going to tell y'all to go out and buy the deck if you want to know ritual right now. And then looks like I froze for just a moment, so I hope I'm back. And then there's a section called contemplations that gives a few more clear bases. How does my soul self-inform how I walk through my life? And what does my soul need most right now? That is so interesting to me, that last question. What does my soul need most right now? Because those of you that joined me this morning for meditation before we came in here, that was one of the questions that came through. I did a channel guided meditation. That was one of the questions that Spirit asked me to pose. What do I need most right now in this moment? Just sitting with that question and allowing that answer to come from within. Not asking your guides, what do I need most? Not asking the divine spirit, God, angels, what I need most. They have answers, but really sitting with yourself and finding that inner answer to what do I need most right now. The right now is important. The right now is important. All right, let's see. Someone mentioned needing prosperity. They want to make more sales at work. I'm going to apply the messages we already got from Spirit. I'm not going to add my own 2 cents to it, although I got 4 cents, but I'm not going to add my 2 cents to it. I'm going to apply what Spirit already told us. Needing prosperity and needing to make more sales at work. I'm going to say, if I had to give you an answer right now based on what Spirit has already told the collective, something needs to be let go of. There's something in your business that is stopping the flow. Something that is non-income producing, something that's boring you, something that somebody else could do, and that's tying up your energies. And something, 8 of Cups, needs to be let go of so you can move more into the prosperity, more into the income producing activities and things. And maybe that something is something that an expert or a guru or a mentor told you you have to do, and you're saying, and you're struggling with it, and you know you're struggling with it. 8 of Cups energy. I need to walk away, but I feel like I can't walk away. 8 of Cups energy. Spirit is like, right now, I need you to move away from that, because I can't with what you're doing right now. You're just going to keep getting some of the same of what you're doing, because that's all you've made room for. You want bigger things, make more room. All right, so that's what I would say towards that. But let's see what else Spirit has to say. Let's see how many of these other additional messages come through can help you with the prosperity and making more sales. And feel free to chime in over in chat if you have other questions or other things that you're currently working on in your path. I'm hoping to start making these. Actually, I'm hoping to start making all of the content that I put out there more interactive. I can talk, y'all. Y'all know I can talk. I've been doing this for 4 years. Y'all know I can talk. And I enjoy talking. And I enjoy the sound of my own voice sometimes. But just delivering these messages can only go so far. I really, really want to start adding more interactive more interactive opportunities to the work that I do. So next deck is Dragon Path. Dragon Path Oracle. I've already pulled the card, and it is Crystal. It is Crystal Dragon. There we go. Crystal Dragon. She looks like she's glowing. I think it's a she. I've pulled her before. I think it's a she, and it's card 19. 1 and 9 is 10. 10 is completion. 10 is completion, and we already have the completion card with the world. So let's see what needs to end so that we can usher in that full energy and let something new come in and replace it. Where am I at here? X, I, X. Why can't I find that in the book? Sometimes counting like the Romans do just befuddles me. Crystal. This beautiful and peaceful dragon's main role as galactic dragon is to support all indigo and crystal children who have special and unusual abilities and traits, adults and those on the autistic spectrum. She is, in fact, named after the crystal children. She fully understands the complexities that can accompany these children and adults, so she is here to support them and their families as much as possible. I love that. She urges us to explore their richness of talent in whatever area works for them. For example, this could be numbers, sport, art, music, or pottery, or anything that allows the mind to unleash and creativity to flow. That goes for all of us. She understands that the classroom, with its restraints and rules of quiet and concentration, often does not work for these naturally inquisitive artistic souls. If Crystal has swooped into your cards today, she encourages you to add color, vibrancy, or shape to your life in any way that you are drawn to. She asks, have you become too rigid in your thinking, expectations, or outlook on life? Let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of your life and loosen any feelings of tension from your body. There's that word. Allow your mind to daydream. Let it explore new possibilities, find creative pursuits, and free your soul. I got all excited when I saw tension in the text. So let's read this again as a message from this dragon, from Spirit, on how we can release tension. Let me go to that specific paragraph. Let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of your life and loosen any feelings of tension from your body. Allow your mind to daydream. Again, give yourself space so that the divine can join you. Going on, it says, our lives rarely flow along a straight route. They're always full of twists and turns. She goes on to say, learn to follow the ebb and flow of the tide of your existence here on earth. Struggle and resistance do not serve you. They simply frustrate and vex you. And when she talks about ebb and flow and cycles, I'm reminded of the world card that we pulled earlier, talking about it was the world card, but I gave the description of the wheel. And the wheel is stuck in my head. So I'm just going to say that message is from Spirit. I'm checking with Spirit to make sure I'm not lying on Spirit. Yeah, Spirit is like, yeah, the message is twofold. Yes, the wheel meanings also apply to the purpose of this reading. It's understanding ebb and flow, understanding cycles, and also the world card talking about completion and knowing when it's time to end one thing and move into the next phase. So lastly, she asks us why we do a job we hate. I'm just going to stop. Why? Why do y'all do jobs you hate? I really want to know. I'm really curious. Why do we do a job we hate or stay with a partner we can't communicate with if it makes us unhappy? Be true to yourself. Be authentic in your life. And here we go. And allow yourself to let go of all that doesn't bring warmth to your very being. Crystal encourages us to follow our dreams, live our joy, and be open to new possibilities. I feel like I could just mic drop and end the reading on Crystal's message right now. Because that tension I was feeling, that tension that I was talking about, you need to let go of something, that 8 of Cups, you need to walk away, even if it feels like it's unfinished. That applies to the big things in life too. Why are you still showing up every morning at a job you hate? Not a job that provides you minor frustrations or challenges. That's life. But when you say to yourself, I hate my job, and I'm like, okay, so did you quit yet? No, no, I'm still showing up every morning to a job I hate. Hate is a strong word. Why do you keep going to a job you hate? I don't care what your answer is. It's an excuse for not walking in flow. It's an excuse for not teaming up with the universe. It's an excuse for not allowing yourself to listen to your own intuition. All right, I'm gonna stop preaching now. All right, let's see. What other deck? Let's see. Spell casting is calling to me. Spell casting. This is what the deck looks like. It's oracle cards, spell casting oracle cards. The back of the cards are really pretty too. That reminds me of Pentacles energy, earth energy, natural energy. Spell casting. Let's see, what is this card? Okay, let me scroll back. Somebody said need prosperity, making sales at work. What's that card say? I love it when spirit comes through. Prosperity. I feel like this message is just for you, and you asked the question because a lot of us were thinking it. So yes, it's specific for you that asked that question, but also spirit is like, no, it's more than one of y'all. Let me pop on in with the message for the collective. It's more than one of y'all. Y'all remember the movie The A-Team, when the guy that was in charge with the plan, they would have a plan, and the whole sitcom was about how the entire plan went to shit, and it always worked out in the end. And his line was, I love it when a plan comes together, even though the plan never really came together. That's how I feel when spirit comes in with the message after we just have a question or we just have a topic come up. I hear that emphatically in my mind. I love it when spirit comes through, is how I say it, but I feel it with the same energy that he used to say. I love it when a plan comes together. I'm a child of the 70s, but 80s and 90s, y'all. I loved 80s and 90s television. Prosperity. So many good lines from those eras. Prosperity. So y'all listening up. Let's see, because I know it's more than one of y'all. Prosperity, the magical guidance. It's been a long, hard slog, and you've wondered if you'll ever reap the benefits you've worked so diligently for. As you faced financial responsibility, a little extra cash would certainly be very welcome at this time. Remain calm and courageous, for your constant worry and concerns are about to be a thing of the past. And also, your constant worries and concerns are exactly what's blocking you. A successful and flourishing circumstance beckons. The energy of affluence surrounds you, signaling that opulence and financial success is yours for the taking. Wealth is knocking on your door and asks you to invite a little luxury, for this is a most prosperous time. I do feel like, is that accurate? I'm not going to say this is the most I'm not going to say no. I feel like I've definitely been walking a path of gradual abundance throughout all of 2024, but I will say, I know that this month specifically, all of the energies that I've been looking at astrologically and picking up on collectively, there are definitely portals and pockets of prosperity and opportunity opening up that we may have never seen before, or we may have been so busy with our life that we just kind of walked past those doors. But I see them. I'm very aware of portals. I see them opening up, not just for me, but for all of us. So just, if you're saying, I don't see them, I don't know what you're talking about, slow down just a little bit. Whatever you're doing in your business, in your life, see if you can, instead of sprinting, maybe slow it down to a jog, so that maybe you're going to start catching glimpses of those opportunities and of those portals of abundance that are opening around you, always around you, but oftentimes we're moving too fast to see them. I fully believe that there are an increasingly, what's the word? They're no longer glimmers and sparkles. They're full on big ass open, surrounded by glowing portals. Like they're easier for us to see if we are focused on seeing them and finding them. They're no longer hidden secrets that only the really affluent or the people who've been studying their whole life to figure it out. No, it's now like everybody can see them, but we're so used to not seeing them that's been our inclination, and we're not seeing them. But the energy, the collective, they're there. Okay. Surrounded by affluence is what this text says. The spell incantation: drop a coin in a jar at dawn on a Thursday during a new moon. Now, understand that these can be done anytime throughout the month. Set your intention. Any ritual can be done at any time. Set your intention, but listen to the specifics of this so you can understand what energies she is trying to call in. So the coin is calling in the energy of abundance. The new moon is calling in the energy of new, fresh starts. A Thursday, I forget, but y'all figure out what a Thursday energy is calling in. Place the jar and a citrine crystal. So citrine is going to call in the energy of the sun, fire, wands energy. In a wealth corner, which is going to be the southeast according to Feng Shui, the southeast corner of a room, and say this incantation. I'm going to read the whole thing because some of y'all asked specifically about it. The asking is specifically about prosperity. So I'm going to read the whole incantation. Jar of prosperity, vessel of wealth, magical focus heals financial health. Placed within a corner of the room, a coin dropped each day breaks miserly gloom. Make wishes in ribbons and tie on a tree. Relax so money flows in easily. Yellow citrine invites fortune in. So too doth green. I'll wear it to win. So wearing green, working with citrine crystals, and that's the end of the incantation. Leave your new money jar in the wealth corner to maintain magical prosperity and say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. Here's some additional magical messages. Stop focusing on money. What? I just asked for more money and you told me to stop focusing on it? What gives, Spirit? Stop focusing on money. You'll be supplied with what you need. Be careful what you wish for, because in some of your saying, I want more prosperity, you're actually focusing on the lack of prosperity. So you keep getting more lack. A lucrative deal is on offer. So again, that's just be looking for the opportunities. They're coming your way. And understand the law of attraction. Understand the law of attraction. I'm getting there. I do understand the law of attraction. I understand the law of attraction, but I also understand it's just like we all understand gravity, right? But do you know how to, if someone put you in a one of them rocket ships and told you deal with the changes in gravity, deal with how gravity does or does not affect your body as you shoot off in this rocket and goes through the atmosphere and then the stratosphere and then now you're out in space, you would need training for that shit, right? It's not like you don't understand gravity, but you need to understand the gravity when the gravity's not there. How do I operate? What forces are actually acting upon me so that I can be the best I can be in this situation? So understanding the law of attraction is not, yeah, I get it. What you think about, you get, blah, blah, blah. No, it's really understanding how can I use this knowledge to really apply it and call the things into my life that I want to call into my life, which is why I do Magical Monday Manifestation, because I fucking love talking about manifesting and I love the law of attraction. So hopefully these messages of guidance, of support, of healing have reached you, have reached your heart. Hopefully you take time with your soul, like some of the cards said, and ask your soul, what do I really need in this moment? Hopefully you trust in the abundant nature of the universe. And you know that when I get in flow with the universe supports my every want, wish, dream, hope, aspiration. So my job is not to figure it out. My job is just to get in flow with the universe. And that flow takes care of itself. All right. Thank you, everyone. It's been wonderful. Hope to see you back next Monday. I hope between now and next Monday that you have a wonderful, amazing, prosperous, manifest the shit out of your life week. All right. Love you all, everyone. Have a great week.